let's just first of all say good morning. This is going to be about 30 minutes video just to get warmed up this morning. We're going to stretch out the shoulders a little bit, stretch out the back, and just generally warm up, and then stretch out the legs and do some hip openers. So they're lovely things as well as twists to do first thing in the morning. So thank you all for joining me, first of all. And if at any point you need to pause the video and stay a little bit longer in the pose, especially at the end for shavasana, do pause so that you can just take a few more minutes just relaxing down and enjoying shavasana at the end, especially in any of the hip openers as well. I really applaud you to stay as long as you can. It's a hard job, but yeah, I'm in your corner. So just starting by relaxing down. And just make sure you've got your blocks and a strap with you as well. So sitting and closing the eyes. Nice and tall in your seat, sitting right on the top of the sit bones. So you can tell whether you're sitting in the right position or not by sitting up with your knees bent on your sit bones and rolling back, and you'll feel that you roll over the bottom of your sit bones. If you then roll forward, you come to a point where you feel like you almost sat on the peak and your sit bones are kind of rounded like this. And you want to sit on here, you want to sit on the peak when you're sitting. You want to be nice and tall. This way we know that our pelvis is tilted upwards and not rolling backwards. Good, so just taking some nice deep breaths, connect with your body. Excuse the music dropping in and out. The internet's a little bit on and off. Just see if you can come inward and notice how you're feeling this morning. And then start to roll the shoulders up towards the ears and then back down, engaging the shoulders at the back. From here, let's take a neck stretch. So starting with both your arms reaching out either side of you as you're sat. Let's actually move on to knees for this. If you need to sit with a block between your feet, you're not comfortable on your knees, then do so. Good, so leaving the left hand out, just going to reach with that right hand to the side of our head and just guide the head into a stretch. And then looking diagonally down towards your right knee. To stretch the side and the back of the neck, kind of the diagonal line at the back. And then moving down to look down. And then switching hands, looking down towards your left knee. You might want to turn the head slightly to the side. I get most of my tension in this diagonal line at the back of my neck. So to stretch it, well, you'll feel. But if I look slightly forward and also look down, you'll feel where you're stretching it. And then to the side. Just releasing out this muscle here. Good. And then let's take a stretch up. Roll the shoulders back. Looking up, keeping this length in the back of the neck, stretching out through the throat. This is a really nice practice for in the morning. I always feel like I'm quite tense in my neck. I'm going to buy one of those cervical pillows to try it out. I'm a side sleeper, and I think if you're sleeping like this, you get a lot of tension in your neck. Good, so just seeing if that feels a little bit freer, and then moving on to all fours. Make sure your knees are under your hips, your wrists are underneath your shoulders. I seem to have lost the ability to describe my body parts this morning, so just bear with me. Finding a neutral position. Then from here we're going to take a twist, sliding your left hand underneath your right, bring your left shoulder down. It's lovely to do twists first thing in the morning. Wake up the spine, it's been in one position or a couple of positions for say 8 hours, in my case about 10 hours. I love my sleep. Some people just need more sleep. I'm a functioning dynamite if I get 10 hours. Absolutely invincible. Maybe 9, but dropping any less than that, I'm starting to fail a bit. So come back up. Let's all remember the importance of sleep. I know that those with little children or other circumstances will be cursing me right now. But yeah, sleep is ever so important. Sliding the right hand underneath the left. Using the top hand, your left hand, to push you round slightly. Keeping the hips in the same position. Just enjoy the twist. Looking up towards the ceiling if that's accessible to you. And then coming back. So this time we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to come back to the same. Left hand under the right. Left shoulder down. And then reaching the top arm up. So the right arm reaches to the left top corner of the mat. We just enjoy the opening here. Good, slowly coming up as you inhale. And then exhale, go to the other side. Again, this time the left arm reaches to the top right corner of the mat. Enjoy the opening. And then bring yourself back up. Realign. Make sure the knees are underneath the hips and come to puppy, stretching the hands out in front of you, bringing either the forehead or the chin down to the mat, wherever you are. Just still feeling the activation in the fingers, stretching out onto the fingertips. You can hear it's difficult to talk here. We're opening the shoulders. The shoulders are getting a lovely stretch here. Just make sure your hips stay above your knees. And then coming back to table. From here, let's lift a downward dog. Lift your hips. Notice that we're not yet warm. Just release the neck. Good, pressing the shoulders nice and broad here. Just breathing. Not worrying about whether the legs are straight or not. We're focusing on the hips, pressing back, up and back towards the back of the room. Inhale, bring your feet forwards. And let's just take our first forward fold. So nice and easy here. Relaxing down, bending the knees, belly to thighs, relax the neck. Inhale, opening all the way up. Good, so let's take 2 sun salutation A, and then we'll come on to classical sun salutations. Inhale, really reaching the arms back as you reach up towards the sky. Take a full body stretch. Crown of the head presses away from the heels, core is engaged. Exhale, the arms reach out, come all the way down. Forward fold. Again. So my back is a little bit sore at the moment, so I'm noticing that I'm much tighter than normal. And that's okay, you're right where you should be. So just take it easy with your body. Enjoying the forward fold. Lifting the hips towards the sky, but let's not compromise our lower back, keeping the lower back nice and flat. Even if you stay in a very bent knees position like me this morning, that's absolutely fine. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Halfway lift, lift nice and high. Make sure your boobs don't fall out of your top. As you reach forward, step back into your plank position, nice and strong, lower all the way down. Inhaling up to cobra. Keeping the hips down. Elbows are bent and tucked in. Shoulders are down, looking forward. Engage the shoulders behind the back. This is a beautiful, beautiful pose. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. So in your downward dog, just pressing the hands into the floor, finding this hand grip that we talk about in class, gripping the mat, getting the palm arch going, lifting your hips. Let's take a little twist here. Bend your left knee and drop the hips to the right, to the left. Just stretching out through the right side of the body in your down dog. Oh, that feels lovely. Let's go to the other side. Bend the right knee, allow the hips to drop towards the right. Stretch out the left side of the body. Good, then coming forwards. Forward fold. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, lowering down your plank position. Inhale, up dog or cobra. If you're coming to up dog, you're on the tops of your feet, core engaged, the arms are nice and strong, pressing up through the hands. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look between the hands, step forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, opening up. Let's come to our classical sun salutations now, pressing the hips forward. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, step the right leg back, bring the right knee down to the mat, come to your low lunge on this side. Lowering the hips here. Inhale, lift the arms, crescent lunge. Just be mindful of where you are today, where your back is. As I said, I'm feeling a little bit delicate in my back. So just taking it easy. Exhale, bring the hands down. The left knee meets the right, rolling through knees, chest and chin, up to cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, the right foot comes forward, the left knee comes down to the mat. Dropping the hips. Inhale, bring the hands up. Crescent lunge, pressing through the hands, shoulders down. Holding your core. Good. As you inhale, bring the hands down. Step the right foot forward. Exhale, forward fold. Sorry, the left foot. You'd think I get my left and rights right by now. Inhale, let's open all the way up. Let's go to the other side first. Pressing the hips forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, the left foot comes back. This time, bring your blocks either side of you if you need them. We're going to rock back to our splits position. Rocking the hips back, the right leg is forward. Adjust not to your maximum, but to somewhere where you're getting a stretch. Let's use the blocks today, either side, to hold us up. Trying to keep the hips square, stretching out through the back of the leg. Good, shoulders down. Just feeling the stretch in the back of the leg. Hips are square, that means this hip is pulling back, this hip is pressing forward. We're just working to stretch the hamstring, wherever you are. So from here, just enjoying the stretch in the back of the leg. Again, not going to your maximum. Just finding a place where you can stretch and we're not going past our edge. So our edge in yoga is the place where we're going to grow. We're not totally at ease, but we're not kind of juddering, really pushing, so that we're stressing our body. We're just trying to stretch. Good. From here, we're just going to hold for a few breaths longer. adjusting your blocks if you need to. Good, then dropping the blocks. Pushing back with this right leg. You might take the mat with you. Pushing back onto your knees. Knees, chest and chin. Rolling into cobra. Exhale. Pressing back. Pressing back to your down dog. And then this time, inhale, bring the left foot forward. We're going to do the same on the other side. So we're rocking the hips back, bring your blocks. Rocking your hips back. Finding your position where you need to be in to get a stretch. So stretching the right knee back or the left foot forwards. And again, trying to have the hips square. So we want the back hip, the right hip, to be pressing forward. And this left hip or the left leg to be pressing backwards. This will add to the stretch. Just breathing into it here. Breathe into the back of the leg. Again, not at your maximum. Breathing. Finding maybe you can go a little bit lower. Just listening to your body, remembering we're not warm. We're doing this kind of yin style, holding it a little bit longer. Good. And then dropping the blocks. And then bringing the right foot forwards. So the right knee is going to meet the left. You might need to do this gradually, just giving yourself a shake, coming to a forward fold, and then inhale, opening, pressing the hips forward, and exhale. We're just going to come back down to our all fours now and stretch out our hips. We're going to come to lizard. So coming onto your all fours, bringing the right foot forward, shifting the right foot across. We would normally do this through a vinyasa, so you can flow through a vinyasa in between if you want to, but for the purpose of keeping the video a little bit shorter, we're not going to do this. So you're either coming with your hands on the inside of your knee, your right knee. If you want more, you come down onto your elbows, or maybe you're placing a block and taking your elbows onto the block. So again, listen to where your body is today. If you have had an injury recently, like me, you might be feeling a little bit tighter than normal. So just go with your body, just flow with what your body needs today. Breathing in to the hip area, focusing on your breath going there, and as you exhale, we're letting everything go. Trying to keep the big toe down, the knee can fall to the side if it wants to. The big toe wants to lift. To see if we can stretch out whatever's going on down here. And we're going to move from here straight to pigeon. So we're going to slide that foot, the right foot, across the mat to our pigeon pose. Come into pigeon on the same side. So it means the muscle is getting a really big stretch, relaxing down, making sure again you're square, you're not leaning to one side. Finding where you need to be for the stretch, and then lowering yourself down, either to the floor or to a block under your elbows. And just letting go here, surrendering down into the mat. Seeing if you can let go of something in the hip as you relax. See if you're holding anywhere. Nice deep breaths into the hip area. Staying where you are. If you feel like there's somewhere else you need to stretch, then listen to your body. I'm just going to come back to lizard because I'm particularly tight today in my piriformis, and I feel that lizard is what I'm needing. Good. From here, let's slowly push back. Give that right leg a lovely shake. Shake it all out. Come back to your table. And then make your way to lizard on the other side. Moving the foot slightly to the left so you can bring your hands on the inside. Coming down onto your elbows if you did on the other side. Making sure you're not leaning to one side, either to the right or to the left. Breathing into the hip. You might find one side is easier, flows better. You can go deeper, maybe it's stiffer. Just listening to your body and trying to be as even as possible on each side. Good, and then from here, let's move across to pigeon. Moving the left foot across the mat, finding where you need to be. If the foot comes towards your body, that's fine. Trying to keep it as open as possible as you drop down. Again, hips are even, coming down nice and evenly, so just check that you're not leaning to either side. Your hips are square. Sinking into the floor, seeing if you can let go of something in your hip. I noticed that when I first come into this, my hip is holding. You know, it's a stretch, so your body can just be holding on. So let's just let that go. If you take your conscious awareness to the hip and just see if you can soften the muscles down and allow some ease to come into the hip. Nice deep breaths, allowing your exhalation to take away any tension that you don't need. If you're getting an emotional release in pigeon, that's quite normal as well. Just let it come up, let it come out. We're holding our issues and our tissues, as one of my yoga teachers, Ian, says from Blissology. And it's so true. Let's let it all go. We don't need that tension, we don't need that stress. Breathe it out. Good, and then slowly bring yourself back up to table. Give that left leg a lovely shake. Good. From here, we're going to come onto our knees and we're going to do a shoulder opening stretch before we relax down into shavasana. So, finding a comfortable position, ideally on your knees if you can. Again, place a block between your feet if you need it. Bringing your arms into tension. We want our arms to be nice and resisting and straight. If you're hypermobile like me and your arms bend too far, keeping a nice straight arm. So just be mindful first. And then as you bring it up, you might realize that you maybe can come in a little bit. We're wanting to be just past the point where above our head, rolling it back to the first point of resistance, the most resistance. Engaging the shoulders and allowing them to open here. Holding your arms nice and strong, nice resistance, making sure you're not bending too far if you do, or that you're bending like this. Move your hands along the strap more if you need more space. And then rolling it back to behind you, still slightly above the shoulders. Engaging the shoulders, feeling the stretch, letting it stretch out. Going a little bit lower. Shoulder blades are engaged between each other, towards each other, sorry. And then lower. And then dropping it down. Good. Just releasing the strap. Enjoying the stretch of the shoulders. If you have a little bit more time, you can pause the video and come all the way back up. But we're going to now come to shavasana. We're going to take a twist and then we're going to lie on our block. So have one block handy. Lying on your back first. Bring your right knee into your chest. Extend your left. We're going to roll over to the left. So your opposite hand to the opposite knee. Rolling over to the left. Your block might be in the way like mine is. Keeping this right shoulder on the mat. Look across to the right. Noticing where you feel this lovely twist. It's great to do a twist, especially in the morning or if you've been sitting for a long time. We'll come back to the middle. Switch legs. Left knee is in. You take the left knee with your opposite hand. The left arm is out flat. Roll to the right this time. Keeping the left shoulder down, just rolling across as much as you need to get a stretch. And then coming back to the center. Taking the block underneath your back, across your shoulder, where your bra, the top of the block should be about where your bra strap is. So for those that don't wear a bra, then you're just taking it into the center of your back. You're wanting it around where the bottom of your ribs are. The bottom of the block should be at the bottom of the ribs. Just finding where you like to be here. And then softening over the block. Keep the chin tucked in. Feet a hip width or wider, or if that's too much, you can take your knees together and allow your feet to fall out. So do what you need to do for where you are today, and then just surrendering over the block and letting everything go. Taking a few moments to hold gratitude in your heart as you soften down for what your body can do, where you are today. Remembering you're exactly where you should be. And also being grateful to yourself for making the effort to practice, for bettering yourself, and for how you feel now. And let's extend that gratitude out to everyone else practicing yoga, getting on the mat, doing the best to be the best version of themselves. So if you have time, this is the time to pause the video, giving yourself at least 5 more minutes in this pose. Otherwise, we're rolling onto one side off the block and bringing ourselves up to a seated position. Let's practice this sitting on the sit bones again. Crossing the legs. Bring your hands to heart center. Open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. Have a great day.